Hello and welcome. Today's segment is exciting because I'm meeting after a couple of years one of our favorite students at the office, Ananya Dhanuka. Ananya, we totally miss you in terms of amount of time you spend with your applications and all the fun and banter you brought to the office. So tell me something. Why don't you introduce yourself first, and then I would want to ask one question for this segment in particular because you chose to study in India despite having very good offers to go study abroad.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that intro as well. So, hi, I'm Ananya. I'm a second year student pursuing economic honors at Shriram College of Commerce. I'm extremely interested in public policy and governance, all of these things. And yeah, I spent a lot of time at Edbrand. It was definitely a tough decision for me to choose India, but I think things have turned out well.
Okay, so when you were thinking of all your options and evaluating that big decision to postpone maybe studying abroad for masters, what were you thinking? How did that all sort of pan out in your head or with family?
Definitely. So I think this is definitely extremely subjective and personalized to what I was thinking of for my future. But I think some stark contrast would be that I was really confused about what I wanted to do. And in terms of that, it was definitely a question of how much investment I wanted to undertake for my undergrad studies. I personally thought that staying in India, at least having that sort of comfort of being in your own country, gave me time to be a bit comfortable and still get time to explore and realize what my interests are. Another thing would be that I also feel that I've always wanted to work in the Indian sort of political sector with the government, etc. So studying in a place like Delhi University sort of kept me close to what I might want to do and building networks here. So those were things. The third would definitely also be that masters is always an option. I think for masters, I'm definitely going out abroad in terms of the interests that I have. But at this point now, I feel like if I look back 2 years ago, I was really confused in terms of where I saw myself in the next 5 years. But now I have a clear goal. I'm more confident about how I want to go about things. And I think I needed that sort of time. So staying in India allowed me that time.
Okay, so of course, every university setting or the curriculum that every university offers or the student experience that they offer has has a few good things and maybe not so great things for students, and it varies from student to student. Uh, what do you think is the best thing about studying in India and socially in terms of, as you mentioned, connecting, making those networks happen? What did you get involved with on campus, which perhaps the university didn't have much of a role to play, but the network of students was a great push for you to do? So just very quickly touch upon opportunities that you had, maybe BU in the last few years.
Definitely. I think one thing that sets us apart is that because we know our universities don't really provide a lot of access or don't have a lot of infrastructure and all of these facilities that I do miss, I think that's what also makes us even more connected or, really catchy in terms of how to find hacks, to access journals, to access articles, how to reach out. So, in terms of being quick on our feet, being smart in terms of still getting those opportunities even when you don't have the university support. So I think we've become very independent that way. That's something I see, that sort of zeal in everyone here.
Fantastic. And I know you have now become the Ecosoc, the Economic Society president or editor in chief. I don't think they have president, but yeah, being an editor, is it a very prestigious position? Is it an elected position? How does it work?
So it's definitely a nominated position by our seniors who serve as cabinet members. And I wouldn't want to brag, but in terms of SRCC and in terms of the Economic Society, we do have a legacy of 40 plus years. So in terms of, and we have an annual economics journal. So as part of as part of being an editor in chief and having that sort of access and liberty to curate your own journal that's extremely well read, that has contributions from people in the Indian economic sphere, from World Bank, all of these people collaborating with us to write that. And being an undergrad student in my second year, to have that sort of opportunity and to have that sort of recognition, I think that's definitely extremely cool. And it's definitely extremely respected in at least the DU circles.
Great. So thank you so much, Ananya. It was just getting a quick overview of how the decision to stay in India panned out for you. And it seems that you're making the most of it. So look forward to having more such discussions with you. And I have a few more in mind, and we'll be recording those as well. Thank you.
Thank you.